Going back to work. Everybody's been back to work. Slowly, you get this. Some offices are mandating, that work from home's done. Gen Z and millennials are blame shifting. They're snitching. They're setting up people to fail. They are going after you. And what is that? They are backstabbers at work. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Is that illegal? Can you sue somebody over that? Joining us with our weekly legal is Javier Pérez. Javier Pérez. Hey, man, I don't know that have we talked? Yeah, I think we talked once or twice before. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I've not been backstabbed, and that's okay.
Good.
Is this a real thing? I mean, haven't we always had at work people who kind of undermine others, right?
Yeah, I do think it is a recurring phenomenon that is not specific to any one generation.
Yeah. Research, I was just reading this, 61% of employees have been thrown under the bus, so to speak, at work. Nearly a third saying that they see it happen on a weekly basis. If you have proof or what you think is proof, do you see in the legal realm people suing coworkers over this? I didn't get this promotion. That'd be a hard one to prove, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so, that sort of thing you're talking about between coworkers is usually not going to be the basis for a lawsuit because there is no individual liability, generally speaking, in employment law. But I think where there may be cause for concern is if there is some kind of sabotaging between a supervisor and a subordinate. But that really is a concern for the employer, where they may be on the hook for something untoward like that.
So what recourse do you have? I mean, at what point do you go to HR? Because HR, a lot of times, they're just going to go, we're doing some onboarding and stuff. You have no proof here. Just get along. When do you go to HR?
I think you should go to HR when as sort of a last resort. And my reason I say that is because just as easily as you think, HR is going to get to the bottom of things, find out the truth, see that I was done wrong, you are also likely to be kind of labeled and have something go in your file as someone who has interpersonal issues with coworkers, and you don't want it coming back to bite you. If something kind of more serious were to happen, they say, look, well, this person has a documented history of not getting along with folks and blaming others for, the slights they perceived at work, didn't get a promotion, didn't get credit for an assignment. I would caution folks to use HR sparingly, if at all.
Javier Pérez with us. You've had, a number of years' experience in the legal world on this, including employment law. It's kind of one of your things, which is why I like having you on for this. But why do you think because according to this report out of Success, it's more so Gen Z and millennials who are involved in this. Why? What do they got going?
I think from my perspective, and I'm not a sociologist or anything like that, but my perspective is younger generations are more vocal about things and don't kind of take things in stride as much. So they're going to call out where they feel like they weren't being treated fairly. There's also this kind of concept about boundaries that is one term for that, where, an employee will tell their boss, like, no, I'm not going to do that, which is kind of a foreign concept to me. But there is, I think, kind of a generational thing there where they feel more empowered to vocalize when they're unhappy about something. So I think maybe that's affecting what's being reported in those kind of surveys.
So doesn't this happen, then doesn't the boss get to go, well, this is what the job is, and I'm the boss. This is not a democracy. Thanks for your input, but if you don't like it, there's the door. Doesn't that happen?
Yeah, so none of that has changed in terms of, from the legal perspective. An employer, has the ability to manage the terms and conditions of the job. So what's required, when it has to be done, whether it's, in office or at home. And unless they're doing that in a way that's discriminatory in some way, or not accommodating somebody that has, say, a medical condition or something like that, those are the breaks, so to speak, is that it's the employer who manages what the job requires. And if you can't meet the requirements of the job, as you said, there's another alternative for you, which is the door.
Javier Perez, the legal expert on our little weekly legal segment today. Okay, I'm going to go all opinion on this.
Sure.
I mean, have we just become a nation of whiners? Are we just too soft now? We just had a segment just a few moments ago about therapy dogs in schools. That's a thing. Are we just soft now?
I don't know that I would go that far. I think the kind of issues being brought to light now maybe have been there in some sense, some form, one or another. But I do think there is a kind of tension that's being brought to the surface because, like I said earlier, that I think, younger generations are unwilling to suffer through things that are,
they're soft.
That's one way to put it, I suppose. But we're definitely going to hear about it, is my point. And I think, the answer to that from an employer's perspective is you're still the one that manages the position, right? And so I think you probably always got to listen to what the concern is, but that doesn't mean you have to, bend over backwards if it's not working for your business. And you do have to be careful as well about, the squeaky wheel getting the grease. And so you end up having people that get preferential treatment just because they're more vocal about their concerns. And that can really kind of put an employer in a tough spot where it's going to, what's good for the goose. And now everybody's got kind of a special treatment.
Javier Perez, legal expert. Guy deals with a wide range of stuff, including employment law. So good to have you on. You got your own firm and everything. Where do we find you on the web?
Yeah, so you can find me at javierperezlaw.com, where we do specialize in employment law and catastrophic injury. The evolving workforce, the evolving workplace, return to office, all that sort of stuff, we deal with that every day.
All right, Javier, have a special kind of day, buddy. And thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You bet. Have a good one.
All right.